Welcome back, everybody, to Match My Smoke, the podcast. I'm your host, JB the Oracle. Now, today, we got a great guest. Um, his brand precedes him. You know, I've been seeing his brand everywhere in the streets, going around the Chicagoland area, and I know he's been making some runs throughout some other places in the United States. But I want to give it up to Darren from the 48ers, CEO of the 48ers. Darren,
I,
BK Bama.
I
We're going to
appreciate it. I appreciate the introduction, man. The great, that's stuck with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Darren, what's been going on with you?
All work, no play. You feel me? Just moving. We in a dispensary. We in the field. I'm on the road. I'm still pushing that vibes. It's just nonstop work. Making that, trying to really just make that balance. That sweet spot of just being all around.
Absolutely. And when I met you last year, um, you were pushing the vibes hard. I think that's
Yeah.
how I initially met you. You was pushing the vibes hard. Tell us how that whole deal came about and you doing business with Vibes the brand, and explain to the people what Vibes is.
So Vibes is the sister company to Cookies. We the rolling paper. We the lifestyle brand. It's the lifestyle more so than the paper brand. So, and to be honest, it ain't even been a full year, to be honest, bro. It's been only a couple of months. I jumped down with Vibes. I pushed up to the 7-Eleven meet and greet with Burner. I showed up to the event, pushing my own brand, and left there an employee of Vibes. So it's been like, man, I can't even explain it. It's been a quantum leap to say that. Like I came, trying to push my brand as an entrepreneur, and it's put me in the passenger seat to like push me back a little bit and become a student, learn as much as I can about marketing to bring back the resources to my brand and be able to help and be a lot more effective with my own brand. So my brand kind of took the back seat, started with Vibes. They opened up the door for me to move around, do what I want. I operate kind of like as an MSO. I can go to California. I can go all around the country and work Vibes while still working in the industry in Illinois. So it's a beautiful situation.
Wow. And you say you pulled up. You pulled
Yeah,
up to an event, met Burner. You was
in the
already
freezing cold.
hustling.
Anybody
Do
who was there know it
y-
was freezing. That was, but that event, bro, I ain't
yeah.
gonna lie, that was a life-changing event. Anybody who was there know, it's a network. It's almost a brotherhood that had been built. If you was there, we
So in the
we
freezing
found
cold,
that
but you met Burner, pulled
for
up
sure.
to him, and then he just seen the hustle and drive in you, and he hired you. How did that conversation go?
So actually, my guy Picky who brought me on, I met Burner at the pop-up. We kind of did chop it up, but it's a meet and greet, so we ain't really getting too deep in the conversation, but it's more so the work. They watching the work. We don't do too much talking. It's like I feel like I'm in a mob, bro. They just give me a head nod. I do the work. They let me go and do as I want. So it's beautiful. We opening up the lifestyle, the more merchandise outside of just focusing on paper. We pushing
Yeah,
the culture,
yeah, I
and we really
seen that. I seen that. How long have you been designing and putting on that 48ers brand? And we'll get into what it really is and all that too.
so actually stamped running like a brand. I'd have to say 2019. That's when I started out. But before that, 48ers is it's been an evolution. That's what me and my brothers we started out Dirty Hustle. That's where it came from. We started out candy operation selling penny candy, and as you get older, the hustle stay the same, the product change. We'll say that. So it went from candy to you know penny candy to nickel bags, and so
It's
the evolution, and we started to just graduate. We started out with candy, went over to cannabis, but then it went back to merchandise and just all lifestyle items, legal pieces to where you gotta do something different.
right.
But it's cool, but the game changed. It's like our influence is deeper than just cannabis. So we indulge in fashion, we indulge in branding, we help other brands build their stuff up. I'm doing marketing and branding right now. directed garment. So just the hustle. Like I say, it was dirty hustle, and that's 48ers. That's what it's short for. So
So how did you start, really getting a passion for the garments, the pieces, and tell us how you started to bridge that with the industry in the cannabis?
so I was doing my merchandise. 440. I started with 448. So once cannabis went legal here in Illinois, my goal was to open a smoke shop right by Windy City Cannabis on Sibley. So I had my own brand going. I started doing lifestyle pieces and actual essential pieces you need if you're a trapper or you're a smoker. So I had scales, lighters, rolling trays, uh, pretty much paraphernalia. That was my lane. Then my work shirt, what I do now, that's our thing. Workwear. It ain't into really fashion. It's more so, I wouldn't even say fashion. We like utility wear, that gear you get dirty in. You can go off road now. So
And what was
I,
some of the inspiration behind that? I do peep that, it's a more blue collar look, blended with the culture and all that. What was the motivation behind all that?
I got two different sources of motivation behind that. So one of the richest guys I know, but he's a humble guy. He wore Dickie shirts to this day. From the time I've known him, which was probably about 3 years old, he wore a Dickie shirt. He barely got fresh, fly, all this flashy shit. He was like this. So I picked it up from him. And more so, my name is Work. My record label was Dirty Work. So anybody who know me, they know it's all work. Whatever we doing, we work. And I don't care if we work and doing intellectual work. You get a flat tire, you say, hey, bro, I need you to. We just work is what I do. Anybody who know me know work. That's my thing. So it just kind of became just a lifestyle piece, a work shirt. Work shirts don't go out of style.
So you took on that moniker from the grit, just one brand to the next, learning and navigating.
Yeah.
Now, what year would you say, it really started rolling, people start getting a lot more familiar with the brand? You say you started it in 2019, but what year would you say it started really resonating with people and they started buying into your vision?
So it's crazy. I've been pushing, but it was a time G Herbo's baby mama Ari. She wore one of our hats, and from there it was just like it was a domino effect. Now the demand's coming, and we were just doing mock-ups and having few pieces here and there. Once I seen that, now it was like, all right, trademark that. Let's go load up. Let's go find a wholesaler. Let's go find, let's get production going. And from there, it just went. We brought it and just kind of slowly just been bringing it towards the cannabis.
And what year was that?
That was 2019 or 2020. It would have to be 2019.
So it was fairly quick to when you really dropped it.
Yeah. Yep. We were making mock-ups. We were making mock-ups probably since when was we doing Treehouse? Cuz about 2017 actually. 2017 we was doing our mock-ups and just representing, just saying 448, but it
Yeah.
really got serious after, the social media attention came.
So then after that, when did you say, okay, I'm about to jump into the cannabis industry, take that serious, and put a lot of my focus there?
So that didn't happen until maybe I'd have to say around this time last year, August, when I did my first Cookies U application and video submission. I was in my barber house, just a regular day. I'm in my barber house. I get a email come in like, woo, woo, Cookies University, open application. Now, I've been waiting on that for 2 years. I missed it the first 2 years. This year, so I'm getting my hair cut. I finished the application. And at the end of it, I had to make a video submission and tell them, why I feel like I'm a worthy candidate, XYZ.
Yeah.
From that day, it kind of took off because I'm a street guy, bro. I ain't been on cameras. I ran from cameras. I stayed away from any of that. So I kind of just like broke one of my fears. I faced one of my fears and just talked to the camera. I looked at people who talked to cameras like that was weird at one point. People making videos. I thought that was a mental illness, but I did it,
He said he's
and bro, it just took off. And so I have to say, I did 3 rounds of the Cookies University applications to where I was selected top 5. And in February, they called and let me know. No, it wasn't February. That was December. They called me, let me know I made top 5, but the program was canceled because of the California wildfires.
oh wow. So It was you got the good news that you had advanced, but Mother Nature had other plans.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay. But then I mean, it inevitably turned out good. What happened after that? Did they reach out to you after things got straight, or what happened?
No, so nothing ever happened. I never heard much back from them. Keep in touch with my my advocate. So I had to, after the selecting process, I had to talk with the advocates, whatever, and they decide who would be the final. So I keep in touch with them. But overall, bro, I ended up signing up for Oaksterdam University online and took my business of cannabis certificate, completed that, and from there, I'm just like, all right, what I'm gonna do with this? I
Now
went
for
and applied.
people, now for people who not familiar with what you're talking about, break down the university a little bit for them.
So Oaksterdam University is one of the first cannabis colleges, or the first cannabis college in America or in the world, if I'm saying it right.
Mm.
So they were the first cannabis class that you could, or school that you could sign up for, and they really the advocates for the country. They put in work around the country to make it to be this open and free for us to enjoy this.
So then you did how long there? You said 6 months.
No, no, no. So you can do online courses. That was maybe 2 months that I completed that in,
Okay.
and then immediately after, I went and started filling out entry level applications. So basically, I put myself through school and started doing my own career path of finding myself jobs entry level. Where, of course, the pay is not so handsome, but you learning something. You learning, you making resources, and you just networking. You get to, it was new for me, so I
I was
was I
gonna
was more
ask
than
what
excited to
attracted
start.
you to it. What attracted you to the industry? At that level where you was looking for retail.
I would have to say just wanting to graduate. Really just wanting to graduate. I mean, I've been hustling since I was 12, literally. So for me being the age I am about to be 32, it was no real, it's no trophy or nothing to beat my chest on and say, I've been doing this 20 years, and it's like, what you got to show for it? And so
Okay.
now I can say, man, I got a career. I got a career in this. Now I'm not going, being thrown in jail for this. Now my motivation was just kind of turning around the kind of the, what am I trying to say? The stigma of how cannabis is, and it's this bad thing. But now that it's legal, now it's okay. Everybody's okay because it's legal. So I took full advantage of it. Why not?
How would you say your brand has been out there on the forefront, turning around that stigma on cannabis specifically?
I would have to say, I get to say, people get to see me. They've got to watch me. If you follow me on Instagram, if you've been following for the last year, you can honestly see my transition from when I was doing my home grow and to now. I was showing off when I was going to school. I was showing off. So just the education, really showing people it's bigger than just that dollar. You chasing a dollar to be the biggest, hottest brand in the streets. That's not what I'm after. I'm
Okay.
after advocacy. I'm after, like, I'm here to open up doors for guys. You know, it's people who want to do what I want to do.
And
Well, I'm
specifically
sorry.
opening up doors for what you're trying to open up doors for specifically so the people know.
It's people who want to get into cannabis business. It's people who curious. They want to know. It's people who feel like they love cannabis. And how I feel like, go to school. If you love it like you say you do, go learn more. Go like sharpen up your knowledge on it. Learn some more.
Now, currently, for the people who don't know, I know you, but let us know what are you currently doing in the cannabis industry now, and how has that been for you?
Right now, I'm working with Vibes as a brand ambassador, sales representative for the Midwest. It started out for just Illinois, but I've been, stepping over them invisible boundaries. I don't have no boundaries with Vibes. They let me operate wherever I want. If I can go in a smoke shop and they pick up Vibes, or they interested in Vibes, or they like what we doing, we there. Whether it's Michigan, whether it's Iowa, whether it's Wisconsin, Minnesota, I'm all over the Midwest.
Now, since being in the industry, how have you, in your POV, looked at sales all around from the retail aspect?
Uh, it's rough in the dispensary because, man, taxes and prices and just how Illinois is. As a bud tender, you got to find something that's not only accommodates your customers' taste buds, but they budget too. Not everybody has the money to spend what Illinois is asking. So it's a little rough. So you got to know them products. You got to know what you're selling. You got to know you got to know your product. That's what I say.
I mean, I would think, it's a lot going on these days in the dispensary. You guys are on the forefront, so you know what the
Yeah.
people are saying. You hear the customers. What's some of the things that you hear customers say at POS, point of sale at the cash register, for those who don't know what I'm talking about?
They'll say like, "Damn, how much is? Damn, that's tax. That's from taxes. No, put that back. Let me get." But
Y-
I have to say, we get a lot of people who first time first time in dispensaries.
Yeah.
So a lot of people you kind of, not to say you could just do whatever with them, but you could really, like, as a bud tender, you can have your way with giving the people the experience that they looking for and they come to a dispensary for.
So they just, of course, you do the preliminary questions, asking them is it their first time there, and if it
Yep.
is, you kind of give them that experience.
Yep. And then if they have been, that's when you get straight to the point. You're like, you know what you're looking for. You get a lot of people in Illinois. Not everybody's even coming in for flowers. So that's something I had to learn. I'm looking to sell all this bud, and this people, they want edibles. We get a lot of older people. They want edibles. They want tinctures. They want everything but flower.
Now, for some of the people, are the options overwhelming, or do most people they love the variety and options and different brands and so forth?
Well, when you got the right bud tender, it won't be too overwhelming because they'll, get straight to the point of, what you're looking for. You're looking for indica sativa. You're looking for whatever vibe you're looking for.
Now, we had took compiled some data from
Mm-hmm.
articles, from online, from people commenting about different topics dealing with cannabis and the plant. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this specific topic we want to ask you about here. Now,
Yes, sir.
many people feel a sense of frustration or dislike when buying weed, whether from legal or illegal market. The specific reasons can vary. But then we looked at some of the top reasons that was pretty consistent,
Okay.
from legal and illegal, and we want to ask you what you're thinking about it. Now, the first section, we looking at just the legal market and the illegal market. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
I'm gonna just read them off, the headline of them. I have five here. Now, people are concerned about the health risks, unregulated cannabis, supporting criminal activity. People are concerned about inconsistent potency and mislabeling,
Mm-hmm.
legal risks, traveling with cannabis, certain things, when people do go out of town and so forth, or whatever the case may be, just traveling in general.
Yeah.
In dealing with sellers, they say some sellers are unreliable, inconvenient, and they just don't know what's going on. Can you give us some thoughts on some of that I just spilled off? What's your thoughts
Yeah.
on it?
So I'm on the fence of both of those. So I transitioned from the streets over to the industry. So part of that, it's a lot of scam likely on the underground side. It's a lot of scam tactics to sell bud. You know what I'm saying? So 100% unreliable. That I can say. It's some. I've got people that's gave me their stories. Like buying off of the street, and it kind of disgusts me to be like, I would never do nothing like that to no customer. Somebody who's spending their hard earned money with me.
Yeah.
Definitely. But then also the dispensary side, it is a lot of people who I've seen mislabel. I can say that, where it's like you see these numbers and you like, come on now. I'm in the gray area of both. You know what I'm saying?
So
Well,
I mean, it's definitely going on both places then for
yep.
sure.
And so that's why I advocate for education. Go to school and learn, and apply what you learn to, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's just for your safety, even if you don't plan on going to even get a job in the industry,
Right.
learn your product, learn your stuff, learn so when you go to a dispensary or go to somebody and say, that's what I'm looking for. This the reaction that this the how I'm looking for, whatever.
Yeah. Now, and to piggyback on that, what about the inconsistent potency? You know, you might see something
Yeah.
and the price might be up there, but I ain't lying. You get it home and it might not be what you expect it to be for that price.
Now I have had that. Now this year is the first year I've shopped in a dispensary and have been satisfied. I don't know if it's because I work in there now, but when I have before, it was, man, like, disappointing. Definitely, like, I'll pull up a review I wrote, and I don't even do this. I wrote a dispensary a review, and it was my honest opinion. Like, this was the worst experience. On top of the bud smelling like fucking sawdust or some shit. Like, I like my bud to, like, I like weed that's offensively smelling. I don't like, you know.
Yeah. No, you like that gas
Yeah, I
that
like
got
it
that
funky.
potent, yeah, potent funkiness to it.
Yeah, 100%.
No, for real.
It is like that. So what I do also, I'll when I get my sample packs, I don't always smoke it all myself. I'll share with my brothers, or I'll go sit down with some of my guys and do a taste test. And then majority of the stuff, majority of the shit is a thumbs down for them.
Now, let's talk about another subsection of this.
Yes, sir.
Now, they talked about high cost. We talked about that earlier a little bit. We
Yeah,
touched on that, but a lot of people started to talk about high cost as one of the reasons why they just hate buying it. You
yeah.
know, so I know your points on that, but is it I mean even with deals and things like that and all that, where do you see the market going? And I'm specifically asking because I read an article just to give you a little more context where you had places that were selling maybe ounces for 100 bucks, 150, 200 bucks, and now they went down to 60 bucks.
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that whole thing with the pricing?
That's scary to me. When you see it, just because, just like if it's the streets, if somebody tell you, like, what's wrong with it, because they cracking for everything. So my question is, what's wrong with it?
And you think just the perception alone of the price going down? Now this could have been some
That could
that
scare everybody. You gonna scare more people away dropping, just dropping it like that. Like,
that drastic, huh? That's
yeah,
you
yeah,
like that's crazy work.
yeah.
Now, back to just economic pressures and stuff like that. What is that? Does that even affect you where you at right now? Um, or does it affect you where your work stops, or uh, is your hand in enough things to kind of keep the ball rolling?
You definitely gotta have your hand in a few. Like I said, I wear two hats in the industry. You gotta have your hands in a few things. The one trick pony, that's over with. You gotta work you gotta work a few angles. You know, it ain't a whole lot of money being coming in the industry as entry level. So
Now, when you say it's not a whole lot of money, I know a lot of people aspiring to enter the game and being a bud tender and then having other retail positions. Now, I only know bud tender, but what other positions is it kind of in a dispo that people could apply for besides
mm,
your manager, supervisor type positions? What are other positions?
that's that's all I know of, to be honest. Unless you're a security guard, to be honest, that's all I know of here in Illinois, or at least for the dispensary that I've been working at.
So just clear, no, that's how it's structured. We got bud tenders, we got upper management, and then it's security. You
Yeah,
keep it pretty low.
yeah.
No, that's tight. So, what's the future for the 48ers culturally? I know you had some projects going on, some events that you were planning yourself. Are you jumping into the event arena, or is this just a subset to launch some of the things that you have going on?
So I got my we in so many different things. We came from music, so music, fashion, cannabis, comedy. It's so many. It's so many. We got our hands and feet in so many parts of the business and different industries, to the point we kind of just we kind of just catering to the lifestyle of it, and really gonna go over to the content. Honestly, digital,
Yeah.
all digital creation.
Now, what's
Uh,
some of the artists so people know a little bit more about you that you've worked with in the past?
Man, I come out better saying artists I ain't worked with. But nah, I've when I came in the industry, I started out around all the producers. The producers are the most important. So I gotta start with the producers before I go to artists. And no disrespect to no artists, but the producers are just like, essential to the business. It's like bud tenders. They are, you know, they the essential pieces. Nothing happens without an instrumental or beat. So I started out hitting the studios when I first jumped down. Chase Davis, Chris James, he goes by James Ryder now. Like a lot of the greats, I came up under Bump J, Sly Polaroid, the whole Grammyville, whole
Shout out Bump, shout out Sly. Used to
yes
love
sir,
Sly
yes sir.
back in
I
the
was
day
more of
for
a Sly
sure.
Polaroid guy.
I was just about to say I love Sly back in the day for sure.
Yeah, yes sir. Cap Ones, I have to say, man,
Cat
I
One,
just keep going, bro. It's ridiculous.
living a lie.
Yeah, but
Okay. So
Lil
you
Mouse, I
came
came up
in
under.
that era that was
Yeah,
like,
the
the
Goon era,
Goon Squad.
the
Yeah,
grimy Chicago.
yeah, that was right.
Yeah,
Maybe a whole generation and a half before the drill era.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no. So for people who not familiar, definitely.
Yeah,
Um, no. So you work with a lot of producers. Do you still got your hand in as far as on the producing side, or is that something that?
yeah. So I just tapped back in this last maybe 2 or 3 years, or 2 years. It ain't even been a full. It's been about a year since I've come back to the music. Um, I kind of put it to the side, put it in the back seat of my life for a minute. Had my family and all that good stuff, but now I'm back and I'm with the new wave of creators and all these little guys. They jumping out the gym with the production. They going further than I've ever seen. Shout out my guy, Baby Chief. Shout out Lil Fox. Shout out the whole little wave right now. It's crazy in Chicago as far as the music, and we kind of just being like mentors. We there helping them and guiding with just information, you know.
Now, what do you think? To pivot a little bit, what do you think is happening on the scene right now, the Canna scene, as far as events? What's your take on some of the events that you've been going to in the city that is, thrown by people that aren't big brands?
Honestly, I love it. I love the culture. I go to a cannabis event before I go to a club or bar. You can invite me to one of them all day. It's becoming to be like an alternative to going to the club and doing that whole going to go to the club, get drunk, and that the
Right, that's
cannabis
what we've
event.
been hearing a lot. That it's the
That's
alternative now,
it's
and
the
it's
healthy alternative, to be honest, and I'm with it. Like as long as it's some reputable brands because there's some janky mugs out there, and I ain't saying no names or disrespect nobody, but there's some people that still got some work they need to do in developing,
he
and
said
it
he
all
ain't
come with
saying no
time.
names. What's them names?
No, I ain't gonna do that. I can't
Like,
get nobody no glow like that. But or I ain't trying to beat nobody down because shit, I've been called a janky promoter. My first show, I called myself a janky promoter.
you born and raised Chicago, right?
Yes, sir.
And
I'm born and raised Auburn, Gresham, but I moved to the south suburbs. And
okay,
you know how Chicago work. When you leave the city and move to the suburbs, you can't no longer say you from Chicago. So
yeah, it
I'm from
all
the south
changed.
burbs. I'm from the south burbs, and I'm stamping that though. This the land. Like this where all the real creatives, this where the creatives come from. Like
Now I asked that because so then you seen the city before it was legalized.
for sure.
So like, tell us like in your point of view some of the most drastic things you seen in that transition.
Man, it's crazy. I mean, from going to how it was to now, it's so reckless. Like streetwise industry, I'm gonna say that.
Both. I mean, you could start on street, just with the people. Yeah.
Streetwise is ugly. So with oversaturation how it is right now, ain't no loyalty in the game. I can come get something from you and never pay you. Go over here and you know what I'm saying. Take the ball and go play ball over here. You know what I'm saying. So it's a lot of that going on to where the game ain't got no honor. You know, anybody they go anywhere and do anything. Before it was a network where it was like it was some honor, bro. It was about hustling. Right now, it's no appreciation for the bud. Like,
And not to segue too much, but you touched on something that was important, and that was one of the top reasons as well um in that assessment that we took with the people, and they said, they didn't want to support criminal activity. That was
yeah,
one of the reasons, they started to get away from buying from the legacy markets and things like that. When you hear people say that, what do you think about that?
I think they got every right to feel like that because it's some shady people out here. I know from experience. One of my cousins, he works in a dispensary. He went out, couldn't afford the dispensary stuff, went out to shop in the streets, and somebody laced him with some fentanyl, bro. So, and it's like it's some shady mugs out here that'll do whatever to get you to come back and spend your money and not, give you what's best for you. So when I just stuff like that, it's like I don't blame them at all. Like, I feel like stick with somebody who you know is reputable and sell bud. Don't go buying bud from the pill man, the dope man, the nigga who got, excuse my language, the guy who got the chains, the scammer. That's where it's like why I say it's a lot of scam likely in the game where you see, for me, it's an eyesore for me. You see somebody come walk up $50,000 chain, Rolex watch, X to sell you a 3.5. Like,
You like
nah, bro.
they
Like,
doing too much. It's
that's
over
nah.
with.
That's why I'm in the industry on this side because I want to educate the people. I don't. That's corny to me. That ain't genuine. That ain't authentic. Because we jumped in the game because we need to hustle, get some money. I need to buy a pair of shoes. I need to do for myself. It wasn't. We hustle for a reason. And if you got the $50,000 chain, a Rolex watch on, what you hustling? What you in the people way? You know, you in somebody way.
So what do you say to a lot of the people who also are still incarcerated, nonviolent crimes, cannabis, and things like that? Wow, we have dispos and things and big companies and corporations making massive amounts of money, billions of dollars.
I feel like the opportunity to like turn it around is here. So it's possible to like switch it around if it's cannabis. But for the people who are locked up, I feel like um I feel like it's terrible, first and foremost. Just seeing, say you're doing 20 years. It's kind of insulting to be honest. I don't even know how to put it no other way. It's kind of insulting. As far as, okay, well if it's legal now, I mean, I feel like free them. I mean, it should be self-explanatory. I mean,
Have you ever had to do any time or any legal ramifications
oh, for sure. That's why
in
I
your
go hard
journey?
like I do. I've been locked down for a month, and the craziest part, I was going to court for a possession, and in the midst of me fighting the case for 2 years, my judge was on a house arrest monitor for being for two DUIs. So I'm being judged by somebody who's essentially in a worse position than me. You know what I'm saying? She's got substance abuse issues just like I do, and she's the one judging me. This the person who's saying, lock him down. He got no bond.
Wow, that's wild
So
work.
yeah, and then you can look it up. You can look the judge up out of Bridgeview. Her name is. Should I go ahead? Her name is what the fuck is that lady name? We ain't gonna do it like that. It'll get political, but definitely
I'm like, we might have to look that up
her
anyway.
name is O'Brien. Fuck it, fuck her. Not, I mean, her name is Judge O'Brien out of Bridgeview. Multiple DUIs, and this was the person that was saying, "Nah, no bond."
Oh
And then
wow. So
yeah,
she was on house arrest for multiple DUIs
yeah.
and essentially still judging you. What was it, virtual or something like that?
No, it wasn't no virtual court then. It was all come to court. It
Oh,
was
so
all
she was
physical.
just
This was
she was in the seat with the ankle monitor on.
yes.
Wow,
Ju-
that's something to see.
we had a time when she didn't show up to court for St. Patrick's Day, and everybody it was an inside joke like, "Oh, well, you know where she at?" Like, but these are the people that's
Diabolical.
judging us.
Yeah, no, actually. Throw the first stone, right?
Yeah. So
So I mean, what's the future for the 48ers now? What's some of the things that some the people should be looking forward to, and tell us how
Content,
people could follow
con-
you.
content. I'm breaking the habit of my old fashioned caveman ways of staying away from the camera and whatever camera shy if you want to call it. But content, man. I don't want to necessarily say a podcast, but we want to find something that's interactive, something for the people where it covers more grounds than just cannabis. We in fashion, music. We want to be able to bridge the gap with the culture 100%. No matter what industry, we want the culture to be like this with it. So content, a lot of content, a lot of traveling. Um, that's really it. We trying to tap into some comedy, but that's really like a no brainer.
Oh, you
That's
got, like you said, you got your hands in a lot right now. The
yeah,
apparel is looking hot. We looking
definitely,
forward to seeing what you got going on in the industry, making headway, kind of bridging the music. We may talk about some things in the future because we want to do some artist spotlights. But
definitely.
there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got Darren Banks from the 48ers, CEO of the 48ers, here
Yes, sir.
sitting with us. And we appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming to match my smoke.
Man,
And
likewise.
and yeah, be on the lookout for the next episode. Y'all subscribe, like, comment, tap in with us, and let us know what you think. Peace.
Tap in.